Hey Sadgurudev, and good morning to all of you. My name is Srirang, and I have joined this satsang from North Carolina. So, welcome to English satsang organized by North America Institute of Vihangam Yoga. So, in current times, our day-to-day lives have become so busy that we have forgotten one of our very important need, which is our soul. Um, so first of all, I would like to congratulate each one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules, to join this satsang and gain knowledge. So today we will continue discussing about, a spiritual topic, which is about meditation. Why do we have to meditate? And along with that, we will also, we have actually introduced a new section called Swarved Gyan or Swarved Wisdom. So through that section, we will learn more about couplets from Swarved and try to gain more knowledge about it. So this section has been introduced so that all of us can start reading Swarved, try to understand it, and learn from Sadgurudev's experiences. We all know that Swarved was written by Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj in Chetan Samadhi. And he used to refer to Swarved as his Chetan Mani of his heart. So it is very important for all of us to understand Swarved. Even Swatantra Devji Maharaj, who is our current Sadgurudev, he keeps on telling us the importance of reading Swarved. He has told us that if we are not able to progress in our meditation, he always says that we should read Swarved. And Swarved has those Chetan Parmanus which help us in progressing in our spiritual journey. So this is a way for all of us to increase our understanding about Swarved and get into habit of reading Swarved on regular basis. So we would be discussing fifth mandal, fifth adhyay to begin with. It is a great way to introduce Swarved because that chapter is about seva. And we know that seva, satsang, and sadhana are three main pillars of spirituality. So through this section, we will try to get regular into reading Swarved, because we would request all of you to read Swarved ahead of time for this session and come up with your own questions, so that collectively we all can learn and increase our understanding about Swarved. So I would request Rajji to help us understand a few Swarved couplets from fifth mandal, fifth adhyay.
So good morning, everyone, and thank you, Srirangji, for giving me this opportunity to present some couplets from Swarved as part of Swarved Gyan initiative. Thank you for that. And as we all know that this knowledge of Brahma Vidya is very vast and it's very in-depth meaning. And throughout our journey of this practice, whenever we read the Swarved, every time we get some more in-depth understanding of the verses, and that we grab based on our capacity, our sharpness, or like you can say how much our consciousness has awakened. Based on that, we actually understand that meaning. So definitely I'm not at the level the way Sadgurudev has written it. So I'm going to explain based on my understanding and how much I was able to grab it. So there might be chances, things maybe here and there. If I'm going wrong, please forgive me for that one. So request Srirangji to move to the next slide. So the first doha we are going to read today is from Mandal 5, chapter 5. And we all know that Vihangam Yoga, we always say, sadhan, seva, and satsang are the three main pillars. And this is doha is explaining one of the important part of those pillars, where we so let me read out this verses, what Sadgurudev has written. धन काया मन वचन से संत परम गुरु सेव आरत दीन अधीन हो अनुगामी गुरुदेव. So the first part itself, where we say dhan means monetary, kaya means physically, man means vocally. And so dhan kaya man vachan se. So before giving I let me just read out the Hindi versus meaning of this doha as well, where Sadgurudev has says, like I mean, आर्त दीन अधीन हो सदगुरु के आज्ञा नियम में रहकर धन शरीर मन तथा वाणी से उस संत शिरोमणि सदगुरु की सेवा करनी चाहिए. So the meaning of this verses is, the first thing, whenever we go into any school, forget about Vihangam Yoga at the moment, when we go to any school to learn any knowledge, what we see there? First, we see, yes, there is a school. That itself is an institution. There are studies, we go for studying there. The second is, we see there are teachers, right? Because the teacher only is going to teach us, make us learn, guide us in the study of a particular, subject. So same is with Vihangam Yoga. And, when we have a teacher, we always have a respect. And also, it's not that any knowledge, when we try to gain any knowledge, first thing is, knowledge, we should never take it as a free. You should never, because that knowledge comes only when we should, because if we are getting some free knowledge, we will never honor that one, we will never respect that one, and we might even forget quickly also. So to preserve within us that knowledge, if we pay in some part of that one, that knowledge becomes stay within us, it persists within us. Because see, unless until we do any action for anything, we shouldn't be getting anything. That's why there is a principle of even karma also. So like for knowledge also, we have to do something. And I mean, in school also, when you go, you somehow you pay fee and everything. Same is in Brahma Vidya, but here a little different thing is there. It's not just we are paying and we are getting, no. Here the thing is, we wanted to make ourselves very pure in the sense, today what we see us, we wanted to make ourselves or to understand or to realize completely of what truly I am. So that is a path of purity, and in this path of purity, there is lot of when I'm saying a purity, means there is a lot of impurities with us. We need to remove those impurities, and there are tools to remove such impurities. So when we at a very top level or a very higher level, when we speak about seva or a service to a master, it doesn't mean that we are actually worshipping or doing something. No, it is actually, there is a very reason behind this service. The first and most is, the important part is, our hurdle in path of spirituality is the ego, or you can say the illusion of seeing ourselves as a body and identifying, yes, I am something. I am this, I am an owner of this body, or I am this person. So there is a very, at the core, there is a ego, and that ego will go by only doing some service. And that's where Sadhgurudev has written that to such a master, when you perform service to a master who is a true Brahma Vidya master, the eternal, the who is having or who get or holding the power from the eternal master, when we do serve to that Sadguru, what he does, the Sadguru do not need anything from us, because he is the whole owner of this whole creation itself. What we can give him? No, we cannot give him anything. But what he does, since this, there is a principle of unless until we do something, if we get anything for free, we will never value it. That will not persist with us. So to that principle, Sadhgurudev has created opportunities for different type of seva, service. There are service when we perform with our, like monetary we can do, physically we can do, and vocally we can do. And all of those services are channelized in propagation or in this to spread the knowledge of Brahma Vidya. And when we start into that path, you will see, or you will witness, basically, you will witness that when you start on those services, how your ego will get hit first. And I mean, those who have, I know, like those who have already participated in many of Vihangam Yoga services, they might have, understood this. Like when we, let's say, call to some people, when we go to some people and discuss or try to, explain them this, this great knowledge of Brahma Vidya, and then we all face those kind of difficulties, and it sometimes hits our ego also, because when you go, I mean, many you have seen also, like when we go to some person, he might even tell us, oh, just completely ignore, no, 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 go away. I mean, people have their own experiences of different things, and they react based on their experience. If they have never come across this type of thing, they might react some different way, and they might say something to us also, maybe even bad words, or not even bad words. They might just simply ignore, no, no, we don't want this information or something. And those time, you will feel that thing. You might get little demoralized. Oh man, I just came to give something, and what has happened? I mean, many people who like, I remember for me, like when I was in Bangalore in, I think, 2007. Before that, there was a event was coming up in Bangalore, was in India, Bangalore city. First time there was an event was planned, and we used to go door to door, or even like in like a park, and try to explain people by giving the invitation card to everyone, and try to explain them that this is what this particular knowledge is. Even for spreading this knowledge, we went to many people, and in temples as well, and we have seen that kind of a response from people. Many people didn't liked it. Some people, they liked it also, and they took it, they came also. So all those things we experience when we go. And some, because see, when you start on this path of spirituality, we are not doing for ourselves, okay, and there is no incentive associated with this. Like, See, even if you go, for any sales job also, you can say it's a kind of, yes, but it is much more than that, because in sales job, you have your own motive, you have your own, association things, but here it is not. So many times we face that, and that is where, it actually, a lot of churning happens within us of, our thing. Okay, I mean, somebody, because we have never did this kind of thing, that okay, we are into someone and somebody can come up and say something like that, and we have to still happily do all these things. So it's a tough, and that's where it hits us. But if you read survey, then if you understand, slowly be in a satsang or discourses, that time it will wash away all those hardening inside you. Because when you will understand that all these things we are doing for ourselves, actually, even when we are standing at that place, we are not doing anything for that person. It is we are actually doing for ourselves. It's our cleansing to separate ourselves from an illusion that we are this body, this physical mortal frame, this identity that we have made it so firm within us, like, okay, I am Rajkumar Gupta, or this particular physical body, I have something in this world. That particular whole things has to shatter, not from outside. I mean, you shouldn't be losing your complete identity, but your hold on to this from inside should get removed. And that's because when that will happen, that only will help you in getting separation from this physical body. That will help you to detach your mind from this external world. Because that's when you will really experience and witness that, okay, there is something which is separate than this body. I am into this all illusion. It's all will come to you. And that's where Sadhgurudev has given that what are the ways we can do seva? We can do by monetary, physically, and vocally. So if we are every disciple of Sadhgurudev, they should, in India at least, I grew up in a family where I have seen this from very childhood. And I know that whenever we, are associated with a Sadhguru, we should do some monetary every monthly seva also. There was actually we used to do, in India, even throughout my job also, I'm doing it. So every month we have to take out some seva for the master, for this Brahma Vidya knowledge. Because when we are doing that, what that will do, it's a simple, when you are donating, first of all, your attention will be there. Yes, you are associated with something new, because in this nature, you don't believe, every moment there are hundreds of things are lying to pull you or drag you into this all the things in this world. There are hundreds of things are there now, and it is very easy for a human being to forget. He won't even get any time unless until we make some routine activity within ourselves. That's why even when we say practice this meditation technique, there is a routine that, okay, yes, you have to practice it daily twice. Sadhgurudev has told, yes, you practice 10 minutes. Believe me, by sitting 10 minutes, nothing happens. The amount of focus, attention we need to really get it, it's a very huge. But Sadhgurudev, what he said, no, your task is just to sit over there. You bring your attention over there. The rest, I am doing it. because Sadgurudev has already, did this meditation practice and uh, got the blessings from the eternal master, and he already have that knowledge. He already have that power to immediately pull our consciousness and take it to that immortal zone. So he already have that power. Now what he wants is for us to keep reminding us every day. So that's why he gave us, okay, one channel. If okay, you practice twice a daily. Now what that play a role? Every time we sit, it reminds, our mind has to get into a habit of, no, there is an important thing that I need to do. When you perform any karma, that goes and gets stored as a sanskar in your chitta. Once anything has gone inside your chitta, it will again will get pulled back by your mind to remind you. If there is nothing in your chitta, what mind will pull you? What mind will get to where mind will roam? Because for mind has to roam into things, he needs things in the chitta. So if your chit is filled with good things, your mind will pull good things. So that's why, because every moment Sadgurudev has said that swasa swasa hari sumiro, means every breath we have to remember the our own awareness. We should be in complete awareness every moment, every breath, who we are, that there is a master, there is a ultimate supreme being. To have that awareness every moment, we have to build some sanskara. That's where these things comes. Now on top of that, even if when we practice, still there this ego and things are there. So that's where we should perform some monetary seva every month. Many of people do. Or if that is not possible, then you can serve, or you can involve yourself in service by physically. I mean, physically, you can help in the prachar of spreading this knowledge. You might, like if you some place we have to go, you can be with them, with some person, or we can go to ashram. Many people, they go to ashram, also do service. There are different, programs, activities are there. People go there and do service. And this way we perform, service physically. Monetary, as we know, wherever it is required, you can even donate. Then the other thing is vachan se. I mean, you can discuss with many people, and we can talk about whoever we feel okay, he can be person who can understand this. You can discuss with them, like throw that points to them. Yes, this is what a master, and he has this knowledge, and it is he said all these things. If they are interested, yes, we can take further discussion and explain them this whole meditation process and Sadhguru's knowledge. So when we perform all these things, the one thing we have to remember, that we should be doing all these things when we are or like we should be adhering to the principles of Vihangam Yoga, or we should be adhering to the Sadguru. We should not be doing anything by our own mind or anything out of the principle of Vihangam Yoga. Let's say when I say principle, means the Swarved. If let's say we are going somewhere out and started talking anything which is not there in the Swarved, then what happens? We might be telling something which we never experienced, which we have never observed it, or nor we have anything written in Swarved. We might go wrong. So always stay in the principle of Vihangam Yoga whenever we go out and try to explain things. Many times even I have in India, when I was there, I got an opportunity of one of the great saint, whose name was Kapil Muni, and he always, used to, before, let's say, anything, right? He always used to speak from, Sarved or Sadhguru's Vani. So nothing, outside from that. Because let's say today, even I don't have experience of higher levels of Vihangam Yoga, but our master has written all the things clearly. So I should be restricting myself to discuss all what master has written, because whatever Sadhguru Dev has written, that only many people will experience, and there are many people who have already experienced the same thing. So anybody who has to verify it, he can go to that. So we have to adhere into that principle. So that's why Sadhguru Dev has said, Arat Deen Adheen Ho. Means we have to stay in and surrender to the Sadhguru. Not that this knowledge is something we say by ourselves. No. That is, if we do, then we might be going wrong and, making or giving some wrong knowledge to other person. That will be more harmful, right, than beneficial. So that's why we should always, stay in that region, and we should always have ourselves surrendered to Sadhguru Dev, because every moment when you are into the service, if you keep yourself surrendered, there is a less chance to do mistake. I let me just explain one such instance I'm remembering. I was in my college days in engineering, and in Mumbai, India, there was one program, and I traveled over there from my college. And it was, I think, for the first program or maybe the second, I don't remember. But in that program, we have been given seva for taking care of shoes, uh, shoes or sandals. That whole department was given it to us, so that, like, people have to, keep their shoes and chappals, everything, pack into a polythene, giving it to us. We have to hand over them some token, and so they can, come back and take it and do all this thing. Because the place where this event was there, it was very nicely, carpeted, and everything was there. So in order to avoid any dust or things over there. Now, what happened was, because as you all know, like, whenever program starts, a bunch of people will come together, and that's what happened. So we were, like, packing, taking everything and keeping. And many times, I think a couple of times it happened that the person who was at the counter, he, took everything, packed everything, and gave the token to the user. And he has kept that thing. He was keeping at that thing at the, like, down somewhere, and we forgot that he kept it somewhere in a different place. And sometimes it happened some wrong token was also got attached. Now, one person, they came back and asked, like, where is their thing? Now, you won't believe, we looked into everything, and we were not able to find anything. And we went to that person, said, like, we are not able to find your token, unfortunately, but we are keep searching it. Then, like, that person was got sad, like, I mean, I gave you and you guys are not taking care of things. Then I don't know, I remembered, close my eyes, and I tried remembering Sadhguru Dev. And I don't know, something, maybe it's energy of Sadhguru. What happened is, some thought came in my mind, okay, I should check at that place. I don't know how, but it came in my mind. And when I went and checked there, we found their shoes. So thing is, Sadhguru Dev, is everywhere. When you are there in the prachar, I mean, a couple of times, I got opportunity to listen things from Sant Kishan Sarma ji, and he himself said that many times when he go into prachar, there are people who have uh, who have mugged up all this Vedas and Richas, everything they have mastered into those things. Sometimes you face that kind of a people also. And of course we spend our time in family, everything, we don't get opportunity to learn everything. But when you are also in front of those people, if we are staying within the Swarved limit, right, Sadhguru Dev's energy works with us. He said, like, many times it happened with him. And those people, when they start asking different verses and questions, so Sant Kishan Sarma ji used to remember Sadhguru Dev, and somehow he will get some point in their thing, and when he asks them question, they don't have any answer. So in prachar, what I mean to say is, in prachar, when we go out, Sadhguru Dev is always observing us. And when we always remembering them, remembering the master, and having ourselves surrender to him, that I shouldn't be going anywhere wrong. So like it is the master's knowledge, the eternal master's, the Brahma Vidya knowledge, that's where I shouldn't be doing anything mistake into it. If we are into that thought, that is arat din adhino, we are actually surrendering to him. And that's when Sadhguru's energy works with us, and it protects us in many ways. So that's what this one verse of Sarved, if we try to explain, it can go for a long and long, but I'll just restrict to this and move to the next one. But I hope I tried explaining why there is a service to Sadhguru, and what is the benefit of it, why we say to serve a Sadhguru or the Brahma Vidya knowledge, because this knowledge is not for any benefit or something. The benefit is those who will practice, they will experience the peace and happiness within them. It is for humans benefit. So that's why we should be spreading this knowledge to each and every human being. That's what we should service. So I hope I tried covering based on my understanding and experiences. I request Shrinji to move to the next verses, next doha.
Yeah, sure. So Rajji, before we move on to next one, let's see if there are any questions in the audience on this doha. If not, then we'll move on to next one.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, so please feel free to unmute yourself and ask if you have any question. Okay. Yeah, so I take it as no. Let's move on to the next doha.
Thank you, Shriranji. The next doha is the second doha from this same fifth mandal, fifth chapter. Let me read it. Sadguru agya niyam mein कर सिद्धांत प्रचार वर्तो सहज स्वभाव में सेवा चरण धार. So when we say Sadguru, so Sadguru Agya Niyam mein means under Sadguru's discipline. Kar Siddhant. Siddhant means the theory, the knowledge, the concept of Brahma Vidya. That is the Siddhant. And for us, the Siddhant also means the knowledge from Swarved. So in Vihangam Yoga, the Siddhant, because we don't want to teach or preach any knowledge or talk about any knowledge which is not experienced. And for us, the only true source or the experience of knowledge is the Swarved. So sometimes, yes, when we talk about Siddhant, means you can understand the principles in Swarved or the knowledge from Swarved. Varto Sahaj Swabhav mein means behaving in a simple nature, and Seva Charan Adhar, and surrendering to the holy feet of the master. So let me read the Hindi verse meaning. सदगुरु आज्ञा नियम में सहज स्वभाव से वर्त कर, उनके चरणों में भक्ति करके, उसी के अवलंब छाया में रहकर उनके सत्य सिद्धांत का भूमंडल में प्रचार करें। मनमुखी स्वतंत्र रहकर कोई सदगुरु के सिद्धांत का प्रचार नहीं करता। कुटिल स्वभाव वाला सेवक सदगुरु आज्ञा नियम को छोड़कर मनमुखी विषय आराम के लिए प्रयास करता है, इसलिए इसके कार्य दुखदाई, अशांतिकारक और पतनशील होते हैं। अतः सदगुरु शरण में शुद्ध सरल स्वभाव से रहकर अनन्य शरण हो उनकी भक्ति करनी चाहिए। So the meaning of this verses kind of I have already explained when I was explaining the first one, that we have to first of all, when you should be going to spread this knowledge also, first of all we have to accept the master, we have to surrender to the master, and that means we should also be learning this technique and make a habit to read the Swarved as well, because that is what the Siddhant. So we should also understand this concept, right? And then we should start, or whenever, because once we also read some part from Swarved, then only when we are talking to someone, we will be able to present that thing. So Sadguru Agya Niyam means whenever master like has given us the task of prachar and the things, we should follow his guidance into that one. We shouldn't be doing anything by our own self, like trying to many people, they go somewhere wrong here and there and make a wrong impression and wrong prachar also. So instead of that, first of all, we have to build ourselves, okay, by accepting the master, accepting the Swarved, the knowledge, read out Swarved, and then we will be able to present it. So it doesn't need like you have to read the whole Swarved. No, you can read some part, and whatever you have understood when you attend our satsang also, discourses also, so you get a knowledge from there, and then you can discuss and talk between peoples. So that's where Sadgurudev is saying in this verses that any of those prachar, when we do under the guidance or by surrendering ourselves to the Sadgurudev, that time the master also helps us. The master will also give you pointers. Your mind will somehow he will get into that flow. So that's how things happens. And I mean, it is but yes, you have to be with pure heart, because we have to be receptive. First is we have to become receptive first of that energy. Once we are, then only that energy will come and flow to other people. Unless it's very difficult. So so we have to make our own self, and that's where this also verses is that Sadguru Agya Niyam mein kar Siddhanta Prachar. Means like if we ourselves don't follow something, and if we want to go and talk somebody else, it will not give impact him. That impact will not come. Rather, if you are also following things, and then you will witness also, right, that this is what is happening and this is what good, and the same thing you will be able to explain more better way to other people. So yes, this is what the verses meaning over here, that by building our nature, by building ourselves also, that way we will be able to present things more proper or more concrete way to other people. So any questions on this particular verses, this doha? Any questions? Okay, then I would say I don't know, like how much time do we have? Probably, if not, then maybe we can.
Yeah, Raj, I think we will just limit it to two because we have a topic of the day as well.
Okay.
So I think we will limit it to two. If there are no questions on this Doha, then we would move on to the next segment.
Ji. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we will yes, limit it to two. And if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to raise any point of time, or like even you can connect with us also separately. No issues. Till then, thank you, Jai Shat Gurudev. And if any mistake I would have done, then please forgive me, because I tried explaining based on my experience and understanding of this process. Jai Shat Gurudev. Yes, Jaswinder ji, you're talking. You have any questions?
Thank you very much for explaining this, great explanation. So I just want to add on service part. So जैसे हमारे पुराने in our old ages, there was a concept of Guru Dakshina. So Guru will give us the gyan, and then we will give the, in exchange something, either seva, ya dhan, ya apni seva, ya Guru Prachar ko karna. So in the same way, what we are doing is, बस ये गुरु दक्षिणा ही दे रहे हैं विहंगम योग को, स्वामी जी को, सतगुरु को, अपनी सेवा के थ्रू. तो this is all a concept based on the energy exchange, कि गुरु हमें ये नॉलेज दे रहा है, हमें आध्यात्मिक मार्ग के ऊपर आगे चला रहा है. And money is just an energy. We can always think about money is an energy. When our Guru Bhai is giving us, supporting us, giving us this knowledge, and in exchange, in this universe, there is only one thing happening, is that is energy exchange or energy transformation. And by giving dhan is an energy we are giving back, basically, in terms of energy exchange. And money is also energy. So just want to add, so we should always be, and we are fortunate basically, also that we are getting this seva, and we are not accumulating karma because we are taking. And when you keep on taking, it gets accumulated, and we have to release that energy also in form of seva, through seva only, because Guru is giving us so many things, so much of knowledge, and this is the most precious thing that we can receive from Guru and Sadguru. Thank you very much. I have to only add this much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaswinder ji. And thank you, Raj ji, for explaining these dohas in a very, very much detail. So I think what you have said is we do the seva to purify ourselves. We should look at this Brahma Vidya knowledge as a purest form of knowledge. And until we become pure at that level, we won't be able to receive it. So through seva, satsang, and sadhana, we are basically trying to purify ourselves. We are trying to make ourselves eligible to receive this knowledge. And when we are in process of making ourselves eligible, we have to pay attention to what Sadgurudev has written in Swarved. Stay very true to those principles and not try to manipulate it in any way, because Sadgurudev Swatantra Devji Maharaj has said that this is a scripture where nobody is allowed to make a single word change. This is a constitution of Vihangam Yoga, and it remains as is. Nobody is allowed to make any change here. So when Sadhguru Dev is talking about not making any change, which also means that not spreading the incorrect knowledge, or not making up the stuff, because it makes our talking easy with other person. So it was very profound and important message for all of us who are following Vihangam Yoga. How important Swarved is for all of us, and every word written in this Swarved basically was written in Chetan Samadhi by Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj, and this is the true knowledge. Nobody is allowed to make any change in even a single word in the Swarved. So thank you, Rajji. It was very beautifully explained and in very detail. So let's move on to our next section. I'm just trying to switch the PPT. Okay. So we talked about one of the important pillars, which is seva. We are, through these Zoom meeting, we are associated with satsang. So now let's, complete third pillar, about third pillar as well, which is meditation or sadhana. So to talk about sadhana, we have Amit Tadekar ji. He is a dedicated disciple of Sadhguru Dev. He has been, he is from North Carolina and has been, very actively involved in Sadhguru Seva, in Prachar and Prasar. So Amit ji, I would hand it over to you to talk about why it is required, why we have to meditate, what is the importance of meditation. Over to you.
Jai Sadhgurudev. So good morning to all of you, and thank you Shirangji and Niranjanji from New Jersey for giving me this opportunity to talk on this topic. So the question for the today is, why should we meditate? And we all are doing meditation today, so we understand at a basic level what the meditation is, right? And we are doing some sort of meditation today or have done in the past, right? So we are aware of very high level what the meditation is. But I think what is important here is to understand the bigger picture, right? The higher context. Why should we meditate, right? So what do we see around today, right? What's happening, or what is the general recognition of the meditation today around the world, right? Where we, if we check the social media or when we talk to the people, what do we see meditation is, it's limited to the body and the mind levels today, right? So all the meditation practices, right, that we see around, which are focused around the materialistic side, they are basically more of a mental meditation practices, which focuses on the mind, on some object, right, to calm down the thought, right? And basically the goal there is to achieve the state of relaxation, some clarity, right, some inner peace, right? And typically all these practices are done by sitting quietly, maybe focusing on some breathing exercises or observing some thoughts, right, or sensation without any judgment, right? So what do we see out there, right, is again some of the typical meditation practices that we hear today are mindful meditation, right? That is pretty common word today, and a lot of organizations are now basically going towards that, right? What it means is you basically focus your mind on the present moment, right? Observe the thoughts and don't pass any judgment, right? So that's the mindful meditation. Then there is a transcendental meditation, which involves use of mantra or repeated sounds to quieten the mind. Then there is loving kindness meditation, right, which involves cultivating the feeling of love, kindness, compassion, right? Then there is a body scan meditation, and that's a new term that I heard, which involves focusing on different parts of body, observing sensations without judgment. Then there is chakra meditation, which basically focuses on some energy centers in the body, and then get the benefit of that. So So these are very, very materialistic, right, focused meditation practices, and obviously all these meditation practices gives us a benefit at a physical and the body and the physical level. And some of the benefits that we see, right, doing these meditations are definitely reduction in the stress and anxiety. So meditation in any form help us basically achieve these benefits, right? So stress reduction, anxiety reduction, emotional well-being, enhance concentration and focus, lowers blood pressure, promote better sleep, boost immune system, increases happiness, right? So those are typical meditation benefits that practitioner achieves, right, in doing the primary level of meditation, right, which is focused around the body and the mind, right? So now the question is again, right, is this all, right? Is this all that meditation has to offer, right? Or is this just the beginning, right? And is there a better or bigger purpose of meditation? Then what is it, right? And to understand that, we definitely need some sort of authority, right? Some sort of the teacher or the mentor who can guide us through this, right? Today, if we see, if I look at the sources of input for us, right, to basically enhance our knowledge, are limited to maybe a social media, right, the guidance from our friends, teachers in the materialistic life, right? But do we ever go beyond that, right? So to understand that higher picture, we definitely need the understanding or guidance from the authorized source, right? So what do we see in the the general, right, world today is the real purpose of meditation is lost, because that knowledge that was the true source, right, and that was basically in between, in past few hundred years, it was lost or misinterpreted, right? And so what's happening today is, we basically if we try to do meditation, some of us are maybe easily able to do meditation, but some are not, right? And what happening is, those people who are not able to meditate, and they basically rather than focusing on changing themselves, the focus more is on changing the meditation process itself, right? And what's happening is, now there are lot of form of meditations which are focusing on the deviation, right? Some alteration of the actual meditation in forms of chanting mantras, performing some breathing exercises, right? Or hearing some meditation or meditative music, right? But is that a real meditation, right? And other aspect that I just want to bring in is the typical human nature. So typically, 90% of the people are pretty happy with what they're doing, and there is a reluctance in changing the way, right, or new ways of doing, or even openness to hear the new knowledge, right? So that is where I think this meditation is pretty essential to understand and open our mind, right? So what Swamiji, Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj mentioned in the survey is, so Swamiji sees all these things happening in the materialistic world, and he feels very sorry that these practices are leading to not leading to the actual benefit of meditation, right? So what Swamiji says in the survey is, Guru lobi shishya lalachi, dono khele dao, bhavsagar mein dubate, baithe patthar ki nao. So what does this means is, what Swamiji is saying is, the materialistic gurus are hungry for respect and popularity, and the followers which are following them, they have the self motives. So both are basically fooling each other in this game, and they don't realize that they are trying to cross the ocean of pain by sailing through the boat which is made up of stones, right? So it's just a matter of time that this boat is going to sink. And then what happens is, the the followers, right, who is following that practice, they basically get agitated. They do not see the benefits of meditation, and that is what is losing a lot of people from this path of meditation, right? So at this time, it is very important for every one of us, right, to understand what is the true benefit of meditation, right? What is the purpose, and what is the true source that can provide us that guidance, right? So to understand the goal of meditation, I think we need to understand what is the purpose of human life, right? And Swamiji has basically described that very well in the survey. And to understand the purpose of human life, to understand the bigger context, right? To understand the knowledge beyond this life and death, right? We need that authorized right source, and that source is nothing but the conscious form of Sadgurudev. So Swamiji is mentioning who the Sadguru is in the survey. Swamiji says, साहेब सदगुरु एक है भेद भाव जानिमान व्यक्त रूप दर्शन मिले दे शिक्षा तत्व ज्ञान. That means the supreme being, the Almighty, is and so Sadguru, the conscious form of eternal Sadguru, is one and the same. We should not be differentiating between them, right? So the visible form of the Almighty is the Sadguru, and he is the one who appears on this creation and start and spread this knowledge of Brahma Vidya to the world. Further, Swamiji says, Anda Mandalakara hai Vyapaka Vishwa Mahan, so Sadguru ka roop hai Anubhav mein pehchan. So in this universe, in this creation and beyond, the supreme soul is everywhere, and it is there in the living things and also in the non-living matters. Everywhere there is a presence of a supreme soul, and that is nothing but the form of Sadguru, and that you experience during the meditation. So the meditation is that of that importance, right? So Swamiji further describes the purpose of human life, right? Why it is important and why should we appreciate where we are today, right? Is because we basically got this human form, and this is where we can do some karma, some actions to get it towards our purpose. So what is our purpose, right? As a what is the purpose of soul, right? Considering where we are today, the purpose is basically to go back to where we come from, right? Understand the consciousness, experience the consciousness, and go back to where we have come from, go back to our home, right? And that is only possible if we follow the authorized source who teaches the meditation, and also we have to go and get their blessings. So Swamiji further explains in the survey, why do we need, what is the importance of human body? So Swamiji says, मानव उत्तम देह को पाकर लक्ष्य न जान हीन मुख्य उपदेश से सो दुख जीवन मान. So if you get this human life, it is very important to understand what is the purpose of this human life, and one should basically try to understand that purpose, right? And if we deviate from that main purpose of life, then this is the best this life, this human birth that we received, it's of no use, right? So Swamiji further says, लाख चौरासी भोगी के तो पर अटका आए अब की पाशा ना पड़े तो फिर चौरासी जाए. So here Swamiji is trying to tell us that, you know, in the context, in the bigger context, right, beyond this life, so we've been basically having to go through so many lives to get to where we are today, right, in the form of human form. And if in this life we don't find that true source who can guide us in the meditation, then again, we are basically wasting this life. So, so what is the first step, right? So if you want to understand truly the meditation, we have to first understand who is the true source, authorized source who can teach us that or basically educate us, right? And that is none other that complete form of Sadguru. So Swamiji has said in the survey that there is an entity, the conscious entity who is there forever, who is basically the eternal Sadguru, Nityanadi Sadgurudev, who is the authorized source, who is the source of this knowledge, right? And he is the one who should we go to get this knowledge, right? And who is the other one? The other one is the one who is in the human form, which is a liberated soul and authorized by the Nityanari Sadguru to spread this knowledge, right? So in the current state, in the current in the today's world, Sadguru Satendra Dev Ji Maharaj is the one who has that energy coming from Nityanadi Sadgurudev. So those are the complete sources where we can go to understand why should we meditate, right? So Swamiji has again said in the Swarved that um, the teaching of Sadguru is the best knowledge that one can have. So there are so many different faculties or types of knowledges out there, but the best one is the Brahma Vidya knowledge, the knowledge of how to uh, go back to where you come from, how to reunite back to the Supreme Soul. So in the Swarved, Swamiji has basically mentioned this Brahma Vidya, and there are two aspects that we all know. Obviously, the first one is um, the understand this knowledge, right? Understand the theory um, in the form of reading the Swarved, and then walk on this actual path by the selfless service, right? Spiritual discussions via satsang and meditation. So the real purpose of the meditation is to make yourself pure so that you can start experiencing the conscious elements. If you focus on this path and follow the prescribed Vihangam Yoga meditation, then one can achieve definitely all the materialistic benefit out there, right? So we do not have to follow any other technique just to get those materialistic benefit, but why not align with the conscious technique that out there today, and the only one which is Vihangam Yoga, and walk on that path to achieve the conscious benefits, and along the path we'll definitely get all the physical benefits out there. So what are some of the conscious benefit that, right, a soul can get? Definitely by doing the higher level of meditation, we open our door for possibilities, right? There is a lot of positivity and creativity in thinking. We get increased awareness and consciousness, increase inner peace, increase compassion, empathy. We have greater purpose of life. And again, the higher level of Vyangam Yoga meditation provides us definitely the conscious experience of self, experiences of Akshar, Brahma, experience of divine Param Purush Parmeshwar, and ultimately the meditation, the high level meditation leads us to burn all our previous karmas and then make us eligible to walk on the path of our karmas. So these are again the very high level, right? Very high level, and at a high level of meditation, right? You achieve these benefits. But now if I look at the not necessarily we all will get all this benefit, right, in this life, but definitely walking on this path will get us eligible to get those, right? Not if not in this life, then in the future, right? And what is important here, right? And if I have to call maybe a one thing that why we should meditate is we definitely need to get more conscious. And we definitely say, so when we come in this body, we came with the four antakarnas, and they have their own state, right? And if one thing that we can achieve throughout this life is basically elevate ourselves to be more conscious and elevate the state of those inner organs, four inner organs, at a higher stage than when we enter in this body, I think that serves a purpose. And that is only possible if you align yourself with the path of Brahma Vidya via the proper guidance of True Master. So the question today, why should we meditate? I think the better question may be, can we meditate on our own, right? That is not possible. We definitely need some guidance and blessing from Sadguru to get the higher benefit of meditation. And I think one aspect that we definitely need to understand is, are we eligible for this higher level meditation, right? Are we eligible? What is the eligibility? What is the criteria that would allow me to become eligible to receive the Swamiji's blessing, so that I can continue making progress on this path. So so Pratham Parampara Sadgurudev, Dharmachandra Ji Maharaj has written one book, and that book is called Para Path Ke Adhikari Kaun, meaning who is the eligible to get the conscious, to basically be eligible to get the conscious level meditation, right? So he has basically described in this book 4 different factors that basically make a soul eligible for the true path of meditation, right? And first factor of that is the gyan, or the knowledge. So what he says there is, disciples should have clear discrimination between the real and the unreal, between the permanent and the temporary, between the self and non-self, and that you can get either via reading the Swarved, or reading the Brahma Vidya knowledge, and then via joining the satsangs, right, where you can clarify all your doubts. And he further says that, for having, you need to have the clear understanding of 6 conscious entities that exist today, and that is described in the Brahma Vidya. And there are 2 branches of Brahma Vidya that you should be aware. One is the Bahya Tattva Jnan, which is basically the knowledge of the mind and intellect, and then the Abhyantar Ved Sadhan, which is experiencing what you learn by reading the books or joining the satsang. Experience that while you're doing the meditation, right? That's the second aspect. So the first eligibility criteria for meditation is to have clear Brahma Vidya knowledge. Second is the Vairagya, or detachment, that he calls out. So those who do not want to control the senses and mind are definitely not eligible for meditation, and the meditation will not work for them. Indulging in any entertainment when needed is absolutely fine, but when it becomes addiction, it is rag, not vairagya. So that's what he describes in this book as vairagya. Not being addicted to any such sensual gratification and to have complete dispassion for them is vairagya. And vairagya is developed only by gyan, or knowledge. So we have to, so the first factor that we just heard about, the knowledge, that is the basis from which you are going to develop the vairagya. The third quality, or the third factor that Dharmachandra Ji Maharaj has mentioned in his book is basically the 6-fold qualities for perfection, right? So he calls out 6-fold virtues, which consist Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhan. Shama means tranquility of mind, basically calming down the mind. Dama is control over senses. Uparti is turning the mind away from sensual enjoyments. Titiksha is to become indifferent from sukh and dukh. And Shraddha is an intense and unshaken faith on the Guru and his path. And Samadhanta is about relinquishing all the questions after being quenched with the knowledge and leading the life with no duality in thoughts. So these 6-fold virtues are the key to the perfection in the world, and also the prerequisite to sail high in the spirituality. And the last one that he mentions, the 4th factor that will make you eligible for meditation, is the mumukshata, which is intense longing for liberation. Mumukshata, or intense longing for liberation, that drives practitioner to the path of meditation without being shaken by any senses and mind. While the initial stage of meditation is still possible without it, the complete essence of meditation, the union with the God, will not be possible without having the intense longing for liberation. So those are the 4 high-level qualities that make us eligible for that high-level meditation and the ultimate benefit that we get out of it, right? So in the summary, if I have to summarize the whole thing, I would just say we have to inculcate, I mean, we have to consider two things in our daily routine. First is we should check our sources of inputs, right? And we should definitely um, uh, start reading Survey daily and joining satsangs. And those are the two primary sources should be, input to our senses. And then try to follow the actions by performing seva. So that's what we discussed in the first part of this session, the importance of seva and why we should do it. So we should have that habit in our daily routine and also practice meditation as described by Sadhguru. And then that would get us more sense of why should we meditate. So I think that's all I wanted to share today. Again, I'm sure I made a lot of mistakes today, and I request Sadhgurudev to forgive me for my mistake, and I request the experienced disciple here present on this call to correct me and share more knowledge on this topic. Jai Sadhgurudev.
Thank you, Amit ji. So it was very insightful and very detailed explanation. You touched upon various aspects of human life itself, because that dictates why we should meditate. The goal of human life is to reunite with Supreme Soul, and without seva, satsang, sadhana, sadhana where meditation comes into picture, right? It is not possible. So we have to use, or we have to pay attention to all three pillars, and we have to make sure that the meditation technique that we follow is able to reach to the conscious level, where basically we have to leave aside all the physical aspects, all the materialistic lives, or our materialistic desires, and elevate our soul to a higher level where it comes into its pure conscious form. And that is when we can unite with Supreme Soul. And we should follow a meditation technique which is able to uplift soul to that conscious form, in its purest conscious form. And that is why it is so important. So really appreciate your thoughts on this topic. It was really helpful. There are few questions, so I think you have already replied to it. There was a question about the book's name that you have mentioned, written by Prathamacharya ji. So if you can, ping that in the chat as well, that would be helpful. So we will open the floor for questions. We have a very short time available with us, but let's try to take, a couple of questions, if there are any.
Yeah, I have one question. Maybe it is covered and my mind was not focused. How our meditation distinguish from other 6 meditations which Amit ji mentioned, mindfulness, focusing on chakras, breathing techniques and all that.
Thank you, Jaswinder ji. So Amit ji, could you please take that question?
Yeah, sure. I'll try. So Jaswinder Suji, very good question. And again, I'll try to explain at my level, and I will definitely need assistance here from our experienced practitioners. So Vihangam Yoga talks about 5 levels of meditations, right? So first 3 levels are basically meditation which at the level of this materialistic world, but then where the Vihangam Yoga meditation starts is level 4 and 5, right, which is at the level of soul. So typically, right, again, if you look at the yoga, right, which is nothing but, right, a reunion of our consciousness with the Supreme Soul. The yoga happens at various levels, right? There is a yoga happening at the level of body, there is a yoga happening at mind of level, and then it is level of soul. So what Vihangam Yoga focuses is on the right, the last 2, which is a level of right, and that's where the Vihangam Yoga comes in the picture. So initial 3 levels of Vihangam Yoga is basically nothing but the 3 levels of Raj Yoga, and in the materialistic level, Raj Yoga is the best yoga out there, and that is nothing but first 3 levels in Vyangam Yoga, right? So you get them, and to answer your question, right? Definitely the breathing exercises and all, they are pretty important at the level of body, right? Asanas are pretty important at level of the body, and that is a prerequisite to start the meditation, right? Having the sound body, having the sound, right? Breathing is essential, but not necessary to start the meditation. And if you look at Vyangam Yoga, right, first 3 levels, the first level is basically controlling your mind externally. So today, right, what happens is all our energy is going out via our senses, right? So in the first level, what we're trying to do is basically try to get closer, try to get at a point where you can turn that outgoing thing, outgoing energy, at least balance at a point pretty close to yourself, and then you turn it inside, right? And that's the first level meditation that basically starts controlling mind externally. In the second level, you purify the mind, right? And that is where you turn your right, what we call surti, right, which is energy of soul going outwards to inside, and then you tune that inside, right, at the second level. And third level onwards, it's Kundalini awakening and chakra. So Vyangam Yoga doesn't focuses on chakra activation, and Vyangam Yoga, right, as you know, it is through blessing of Sadgurudev, right? So in each stage, you need a blessing of Sadgurudev to expedite this process, right? So chakra activation all happens automatically with the grace of Sadgurudev when the Shamdwar opens, right? And I think there was a deep dive session on that where Vijayji has covered that in detail. But then the mindfulness and all, right, all those benefits that I just mentioned, you achieve those pretty much everything in the first level of meditation itself. So I'm not sure I answered your question completely, but I'll request, right, our experienced disciples, I mean, to please share your thoughts on this.
So,
Maybe-
Sundarji, did you get your answer? I think Niranjanji, you're trying to say something.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I was sometimes I dial into the satsang. I'm half listening because I had a very late night yesterday. So one of the thing about the meditation is, I was reading about our Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj when he was doing tapa for 17 years in the ashram, and he saw the effulgence of light, and then Kabir Dev Ji Maharaj appeared to him, and he told him that your sadhana will not lead you to attain the Almighty, because this is based on your sense organs, which is in the material world. It is not. So this is not going to lead you. So he finally touched him with his divinity and gave him 6 months anushtan. So it tells us a lot, actually, because meditation definitely is like when we wake up every day in the morning, the first thing we do is hygiene. We clean our mouth, right? We wash our bodies. So we have a good hygiene. So we set up a good environment so that the rest of the day we are fresh. So my understanding, based on my research, of course, I might be absolutely wrong on this, is that it's a hygienic process. And that is what the Ashtanga Yoga was supposed to be, which is the progression towards the divinity. But we are still using our human platform, which is very foundational and basic, to maintain a certain hygiene so that the grace falls. And I think Vijayji has been talking about this for like so many of these sessions, that eventually we are preparing for that. And even based on my research, we are like a vessel. We are trying to make the vessel upright so that the grace and the nectar falls into it. If it is not upright, it will never fall. So, and it's a very vast process that happens to make the vessel upright. It could be multiple things that we have been discussing about, purity of mind, purity of heart, purity of energies. And so it's all about purification. It's like really making an effort to make the vessel upright. But eventually we are preparing ourselves for the grace of the Sadguru. And so there's a multiple paths, and Seva, Satsang, Sadhana, all of them are the pillars towards that. And and I think the Vihangam Yoga practice that we do is pretty much like a summary of all of that, which is we do a little bit of pranayam, we do a little bit of soliciting the Sadguru by chanting the Gayatri mantra, and then we try to put himself in our mind impression. And but then all of that is part of this towards that. But eventually, what goes in our mind, the tranquility in our mind, I think one of the things that I learned is that the science of yoga is actually the science of mind. It's, how do we use that as an instrument as opposed to a psychological machine that defines us and ruins us down. So, and then backing it up with a strong willpower through the bhakti, through the gyan, through the karma, to be able to, create that vessel which is upright. So it's a multiple things that can happen, and it will be different for everybody. Everybody has a different talent. Nobody is same. It's like a fingerprint. So, but the bottom line is, you become a natural, effulgent human being. And once you have that, then it's a shining. And then hopefully, it will lead towards that direction. So I think what Sadhguru had said was that we are using this physical sense organs to meditate, and that's why he said that this will not lead you to attain the Supreme Lord, and it is only the anushtan, the bhakti, the purity is what really is. So anyway, so I just wanted to throw that out. Thank you.
Jai Sadguru Dev, this is Chitralekha ji. I just wanted to say something here. We have different types of meditation, right? Whatever he mentioned, and there are different school of thoughts. Every meditation has some benefits, or all benefits, but the question asked was, how is our Vihangam yoga meditation is different than other meditation? All other meditations will give you physical, mental peace, blissfulness. You can attain siddhi, you can manifest things and everything. You get stuck somewhere. But in Vihangam yoga, the Guruji said, Sadguru Sadafalji has mentioned that he will make you to realize who the God is, and he will stop you from the birth and death. We attain salvation and we will stop the birth and death, reincarnation part, whatever the cycle of birth and death. That is the very uniqueness of Vihangam yoga meditation. Our Guruji has mentioned, if you do whatever the processes that I have done, that many people failed. I have heard in satsang, they go up to third, then nobody will not go even the fourth, because they get stuck in Maya and they just check in it. So our Guruji is there to pull you out and show you and stop from the cycle of birth and death. And that is the uniqueness of Vihangam yoga.
Thank you, Chitralekha ji. So I would like to just add, a few of my thoughts as well, because this is very helpful information, that we have been discussing here. But one thing that comes to my mind is, as taking forward Amitji's discussion, where he said it is there are 5 levels of meditation in Vihangam Yoga. First 3 are prakrutik, where we are trying to control our senses and physical organs, etc. But the fourth and fifth level, that is where the actual Vihangam Yoga starts. You probably have heard this in multiple satsangs that the fourth and fifth level meditation is only taught by Sadguru, and there are no spoken words. So it is basically like in Swarved Swamiji has written that. I'm not able to recollect the whole duha, but it says Sadaguru Saina Lakhavahi Nahi Bhashana Adesh. That means there are no spoken words. It is like, through gestures or some kind of, uh, imbibing that knowledge, or, imparting that knowledge into the soul. So what I want to highlight here is other techniques will stop at some point of time, right? They don't help you to complete your journey. There are still two more stages of meditation which are required to go attain your to go to the destination. So to take one example, if let's say there is a no direct flight to our destination, right? We go to some other airport, up to some airport, and then catch another flight to go to the destination. So look at it in the similar way that Prakrutik Yoga is just a one stepping stone in our whole journey. But that is not the destination. And that's the mistake, a lot of people make, that they think that one of that destination or one of the stepping stone itself is the final destination, and they stop there. But that is just a stop in your whole journey, and we should not just give up our journey at that point of time, because there are still two more stages to complete. So I think as Chitralekha ji said, right, our goal is to attain salvation, and Sadguru Dev will help us do that. But then we have to stay on this path, follow two more stages in under his guidance to complete our goal of human life. So Jaswinder ji, I hope this answers your question. All whatever people have said. You can unmute and ask if you have any more questions.
Yeah, my intent was, thank you very much, everyone, giving this information. Because, when I reach to people, discuss about Vihangam Yoga meditation, so people, they will tell, oh, they're doing X meditation, they're doing Y meditation, they are doing Shunya meditation, they're doing Samadhi meditation, taught by many other gurus. So I thought, let me gather some more information from my Guru Bhais so that I can address, in much more convincing way where the distinction lies. So if some of you can also share more information, that will be very helpful, and in spreading our Brahma Gyan to people, because this is very commonly being told by people. So I was thinking, let me, collect more and more information on it to convince them.
Actually, Jaswinder, you said it exactly right. These days, you talk to anybody, right? Anyone, they are doing meditation on their own. Some kind of meditation, some kind of yoga. They're always doing something or the other, and they think that they have checked the box. And if you look at their action, it hasn't. It is basically there's zero change, at least from what we see, because you cannot see what's going on in their minds. At least you can see their actions. For example, I was on a school district board discussion, and guess what? The board was there for like 2 hours. They were trying to do their job, and for 2 hours there was barely any parents asking question. Anybody who was asking, they were basically asking about, can you add more curricula? Can you add more of this and that, humanities and science and all that? And then I asked them about, okay, how about we not just create a club for for this understanding about human mind and what the human being purpose is supposed to be. How about we make it like a core curricula where it's mandatory for everybody to understand, then we have a generation which is much more, compassionate and not trying to get above each other, because that's what creates a kind of society. What we do today, what the action we take today becomes the culture for tomorrow. And then guess what? The president of the board, she says, "Oh yeah, yeah. We have a club, and we keep inviting. So please feel free to go there and teach the class if you want." And I understand meditation. I do myself. I do yoga. And then I'm thinking within myself, obviously you don't understand what yoga is, because if you had understood it, you would have taken an action. You would have actually implemented a course which teaches students about the purpose of life, what life is. And since you have not done that, obviously you're just checking a box of doing meditation. So anyways, that person got retired and all that. I continuously keep making an effort because my son goes into the high school, right? But that's what I'm talking about, actually. Everybody is doing some sort of meditation, some sort of this, and they have checked the box. And just soon as that's what we were talking about earlier, that half knowledge is more devastating than no knowledge. Because half knowledge means now you have the license to go and you have a license to go and do all the wrong things that you're doing in the world.
No, Ji, they are not wrong. They are not unknown of cycle and rebirth. Okay, they are coming from different faith. They are not even aware of this one. So we shouldn't say that they don't know or whatever. Whatever little knowledge they have got, at least they are doing meditation, yoga. Those are all new thing to the Western world. So they are doing that. Since we have got this knowledge, it is our duty to help them to say, hey, you can go more than this. Your meditation is good,
Yes.
but there is more than that. That's
Yes.
what we should say. We cannot mock at them, or we should not, because they are unaware, they are ignorant, they don't know. So it is our duty to tell them instead of saying they don't know.
No, so Chitralekha, you are right. If that was the case, they would have been a prime candidate to receive the knowledge. The problem is when they know that they already know, let's move on to next thing. And the next thing is to let's go and make more money or wreak havoc on the planet.
But that's what Maya is all about, If we all are
Exactly.
doing Bhujangam yoga and we are not, most of them are not really doing what Swamiji has said. We are attending satsang, are we doing all the things? No, even we are in this organization, we are hearing all this knowledge every week, but we are also failing. They don't even know. But we are here to help. I'm happy that you are there. You can, educate them. You can say, hey, we can go do all those things,
Because
step by step.
What
I
happens
actually
is,
have something to add to this.
yeah.
As a victim of growing up in the Western world and everything, I can honestly say there's dozens of different meditation techniques out there, and everybody claims to have the right thing. But I've tried a lot of different ones, and honestly, the Brahma Vidya meditation is really the only one that really delivers the goods. I mean, during my initiation, I got to a level of a singularity of one thought during that meditation. I've never achieved anything like that in my entire life. It totally blew my mind. And although people do, I could see what Amitaji is saying is basically like you do the meditation to improve yourself, any one of these like transcendental or any of these other meditations. But then if you don't have the inner, aside from the fact that you're not doing Brahma Vidya meditation, aside from that, if seva and bhakti are not in the like trifecta with your meditation, then you're not getting the true result, and you're not moving any closer to the goal of self-realization or liberation. So it really kind of depends on what the person's true goal is. If they just want to become better focused so they can go out and make more money, well, then there's ways of doing that. But if your true goal is to find that true inner peace within your soul and get closer to God realization, this right here is the money. And people should know that that is kind of our responsibility to let people know that if your meditation is working good for you for what your desires are, that's fine. But if you desire the same things that we do, and I think most human beings do truly feel that way, or at least a decent percentage of them. The fact that we freely give away this knowledge, it basically, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, kind of thing. But we should at least make it truly available. So that's what I had to add to this. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the part of the reason is that a lot of people will do some superficial research and study, but they will not get to the essence of the knowledge. That's what I meant when we say that when you don't get the essence, then it's like, oh, I have read about it, I know about it, and that's like more. That means you have stopped seeking further. The good thing about this group here is that we are seeking. We are learning every time. We are progressing. We have not checked the box. We have not said that, okay, we're done, or let's move on to the next thing. There's nothing called next thing. They say that when a person reads Swarved or Bhagavad Gita on year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 10, 20, 30, 40, the meaning of that divine knowledge keeps on improving. Actually, it's never the same. It has happened to me personally. The way I had understood this knowledge 2 years ago, 3 years ago, was vastly different. So that's what it takes to seek. That's a true seeker. But what we have in our real world with people in positions is that they're intellectuals. They're mastered the technique to quarter over quarter revenue generation, growth of companies, and growth of their own careers, right? And when you are on a quarter over quarter rut, how are you going to seek? This takes a relentless willpower, selfless act. I mean, all of this
They
is
will also come,
yeah.
G. Osho says, if you get anything in abundance, that will change you to look inward. The Guruji says, somebody smokes. When they smoke all the time, they sum up, they get fed up, and they said, I'm stopping cigarette, things like that. Money making, once they make enough money, let them make money. That's nothing wrong. That's what the world is. We all are different, right? Let them make money. Once they make money, then they become void at one point of, I have everything, money, then what should I do? Then they go inwards. All the rich people, there are many rich people who are turned inwards, but they have reached at one point of time, I'm done with it, what next? So everybody will have that time of realization. We are lucky, maybe we have done some punya in one of the births, that we got this one little earlier. Some children have got even in the young, I got it in the, in mid 40s. There are people who are born in this generation. So there are different ways people will get, realization, and there is a time, and they are also not wrong. Their meditation is not wrong. Their health, see, some people, they won't even think of God or Guruji or anything, because if they can't even sit, for them, sitting properly, getting the good health is main. Each people thinks, but we are here to help.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're not expecting a utopian world, right? I mean, this is the prison of Maya, like you said. So like they say that you can chew gum and you can still do the walking, right? So one doesn't have to become a rich to doesn't have to wait to become that and then become spiritual, because by the time you become spiritual, it's too late. The body is basically getting old. You're getting closer to the grave and all that. So the idea is that when people are a bit less opinionated, and they are more, the biggest it takes quality, and it could happen very much different for different people, and it may take lifetimes also. The whole idea is to how can one can take a bullock cart to go from San Francisco to LA, or one can just take a flight. That's the only question. Can a lot of people transform? Imagine in the last 20 years, how much tremendous progression has come. The next generation of people, right, the millennials, the alpha generation, they don't want the same kind of culture that we have created. They want different. And so it's just a question of how soon can people actually because now this knowledge has become available on YouTube's and Google's and multiple channels, which was not there before. So it's a different kind of world that we live in now, actually.
They still have to want it.
Jai
They still have to want it. Yeah.
just I want to add one thing, which I think, in Hindi satsang also, I think Vijayji also mentioned, I remember that see, Sadhguru Dev has taken his pledge, and that's why this meditation knowledge he is gonna is propagating through the parampara Sadhguru, right? So it is, we don't know like which soul will take how much time. We should not be, my opinion is we cannot, we are not in a situation to take any, understanding that, okay, this person is even, let's say, older or any age, is like very late or very early. We cannot say that one, because it all, that it's up to that soul. I have seen people who got initiated. There were no relationship for that person throughout their whole life, but at a very later age they got initiated, and they got even into, fifth stage also. So I have seen, this type of things. So it's it's not, we can, understand like by looking at a person that whether he is into this or that. The one thing what we can do, and that's what my understanding from Vihangam Yoga is, we should make this knowledge available and open to all. That's what it is. It is available and open to all. Whichever people they think it, or maybe even if their sanskara is maybe some words of Sadgurudev might, make them think that, okay, they should also, learn this and try this, practice this. That's all. So our task is as a, practitioner, or as like a disciple, we can say, is just to keep this knowledge spread or like open to people. It is up to their, sanskara or their understanding. If there might be, because I remember Swamiji said that his souls are throughout the world, not just, in India. It's throughout the world. It is just the message when we, or like somebody is gonna, take it to them, they will learn. They will come by listening the message itself. So we don't have to, think from our side. We have to keep ourselves also open. No constraint that, okay, I'm taking to this person, or no, nothing. It is meant for every human being. It is meant for every human being, whatever age they are into. It doesn't matter whether they are at like a 12 years age or very old. It doesn't matter. It is up to, we have to take that knowledge, and what Sadhgurudev said, like, give it a 3 try to explain them the knowledge or make them understand thing. If it doesn't, then you don't have to think on it much. You just move on and for other people, because after that, maybe that person's time will come. He will again, catch into that part. And there is nothing like, the whole, because what I mean to say is, for this knowledge, Swamiji has never said that it is with India. If any book written, if we read out with Swamiji, he always has spoken for the Vishwa, the whole world. Even the Mangal Gan itself says Vishwa Shanti, Nama Mangal Param Guru Ko Dhyaya. Means like it's for throughout the world. He never, speak for any human person, one, or like a region or something. No. So my thought is like, we should be keeping this knowledge open to everyone. This forum, everything is open. Anybody should be able to come, learn, understand, and practice it. So that's all I just wanted to add.
That is the beauty of
Thank
this
you, Reddy. So
satsang.
looking at time, we have to, come to conclusion. We are way over the time. We can continue these discussions in our future satsangs. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I would love to just add one more thing, which, Sadhgurudev has said that this knowledge is not for everyone, and definitely not for everyone at the same time, right? Everyone has their own time. So we cannot expect everyone to be at the same level of Brahmavidya understanding at a given point of time. So, everyone takes their time and they have their own journey, right? We can't force them to start their journey or complete their journey. Every soul has their willpower, and they will take their own time, and then complete their journey. Okay, so looking at the time, let's move on to the next segment, which is Warriors of the Week. So we all know that Brahma Muhurat time is the best time to meditate. The time is between 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. But some of us are not able to take advantage of this time. So to allow us, all of us, to take advantage of this Brahma Muhurat time, we or the Navy has started this initiative called Warriors of the Week. Here, basically, you join a WhatsApp group. You do meditation at your own time between 3 to 5 a.m. And once you are done meditating, you simply send done message on the group. So we have, Warriors of the Week for this week are Amit Traikar ji, Bhagwati Patel ji, Prachik Shirsagar ji, Surya Alamraju ji, and Tejinder ji. They have meditated in the Brahma Muhurat time every day. Other than those, we have inductees of the week. These are the people who have meditated at least once a week in the Brahma Muhurat time. They are Lalmani ji, Maya ji, Shriram Sahu ji. My name is also there. Tanuja ji, Vinita Kumari ji, and Yogesh Kirsagar ji. So thank you everyone for encouraging all of us to take advantage of the best time to meditate, which is Brahma Muhurat time. I hope that everybody takes inspiration from these people and make faster progress in their spiritual journey towards their goal through the Brahma Muhurat meditation. So now we have come to the last part of our satsang, where we will chant short version of Guru Vandana, Aarti and Shanti Path. Vandana is the prayer through which we seek blessings of Sadguru, and we request for health, wealth, and seek his blessings for spiritual knowledge. I would request Dev ji to recite last few lines of Vandana.
Vandana. Prabhu Kalpa Santa Samaja Uttam Sarva Dharma Acharya Hai Jimi Nadya Asriti Sindhu Hiki Hai Vishwapathamaya Karya Hai Prabhu Satya Santa Samajatara Aparaksya Kijiye Jana Sadafala Jana Bhakti Samri Vriddhi Dina Dina Kijiye.
Thank you, Devji. Our next prayer is Aarti. Here we acknowledge the power of Almighty and pray that all disciples experience eternal joy, love, and freedom from worries under His holy guidance. I request everyone to stand up for Aarti, and again request Dev ji to sing the last few lines of Aarti.
Guru Murati Gata Chandrama Sivakanayana Kachura Palaka Palaka Nirakara Herahe Guru Murati Ki Or Shweta Shweta Maya Shweta He Shweta Shweta Maya Shweta Tina Pada Amriti Para Shweta Mahamada Shweta Ashtachakra Sabha Sunya Para Dara Adara Kipa Tahasadafalagara Kia Ulipada Sansar.
Thank you, Dev ji. So I request everyone to sit down for Shanti Path, and we will now chant Shanti Path for peace for everyone in this universe. May Sadgurudev bless this entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. I would again request Dev Ji to recite last few lines of Shantipat.
Shantipa. Hey Prabhu Shanti Sharupo Shanti Shanti Maya Shanti 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 Jana Shanti Ho Purna Shanti Maya Shanti Hey Prabhu Shanti Pradhan Kara Duraho Sarva Shanti Deva Sada Phala Shanti Maya Shanti Shanti Sukha Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you, Devji, for singing Swagat, Guru Vandana, Arti, and Shanti part in very melodious voice and with devotional filled voice. So this concludes our session for today. I encourage everyone to ponder upon topic that we discussed today. I encourage everyone to keep on meditating, twice a day as prescribed by Sadgurudev. And if you can, if you're already meditating twice a day, see if you can optimize your meditation time in the morning time and start meditating in the Brahma Muhurat time, because that's the best time for you to make faster progress in your meditation and the spiritual journey. So this concludes our session today. Special thanks to Jessica ji, Dev ji, Raj ji, Amit ji, Jaswinder ji, Niranjan ji, Chitralekha ji for your active participation. And I thank everyone for joining and making this satsang very successful. I pray to the Lord Sadgurudev for peaceful and spiritual week for all of us. So we will meet again next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the same Zoom link. Until then, have a great day and Jai Sadgurudev to everyone.